Alright, people. I'm back to review another movie. Silent Night, Deadly Night is a 1984 American slasher film. It was produced by Barmak. It's directed by Charles E. Sellier Jr. And it's basically about this guy, well, not a guy, but a little boy that's driving to a mental asylum to visit his grandma. The boy's name is Billy, and he is played by Jonathan Best. The first thing I want to say is, why would parents take their son to go see his grandfather in a mental asylum? Are you serious? I don't get that part of the movie. You'll have to break that down for me. Why would you take your child to a mental asylum for Christmas? I didn't really like this movie because everything about it was negative. You had this little boy's parents that was murdered by this guy that was dressed as Santa, and he tried to rape his mom. He sliced her throat, killed the father, then the little boy ends up in an orphanage where he witnesses people having sex. The nun is mean to him. What kind of movie is this? It sucks. There was nothing good about it. And people are going to be like, oh, this is a horror movie. What did you expect? Yeah, but even horror movies have some moments of pleasure. Like with Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. They show the little kids laughing and playing, and they show the camp counselors playing with the kids. And with John Carpenter's Halloween, Jamie Lee Curtis was carving a pumpkin with Tommy Doyle. But with this movie, everything is bad. The whole movie's just negative. The little boy's parents is murdered by this guy that's dressed as a Santa. Then he ends up in the orphanage, like I told you, and he witnesses this couple having sex. And one of the nuns is mean to him. Her name happens to be Mother Superior. That's her Catholic name. And she's played by Lilyan, Chauvin. I can't really pronounce that. Then you have Sister Margaret, played by Gilmer McCormick. Now she's one of the nicer nuns. You know, Billy watched his parents get murdered. Then when he goes into this orphanage, the nun treats him like crap. But I really didn't like it. Santa killing people. When he saw his parents get killed, it really messed up his head. He would be fine until Christmas time. Once Christmas time came around, he would go off. This one thing that they did, which I really don't understand, bear with me on this one. When he gets older, he turns 18. He leaves the orphanage, or either he escapes, I don't remember. But what I don't get is, why would you make him dress up as the very thing that he's afraid of? You knew he had mental problems, so why would they make him dress up as a Santa Claus when Santa was the one that killed his mom, killed his dad? And I forgot to mention this part, that when he went to see his grandfather, who happens to be played by Will Hare, that's a weird name, but anyway, when he goes to see him, the grandpa pretends to be catatonic, which means you're basically in this state where you don't move for whatever reason. The grandpa pretends to be catatonic, and the parents are talking to him, and he just sits there, doesn't really say anything. When they leave to go sign some papers or whatever, then he comes out of his catatonia and he says to Billy, have you been good? Because if not, Santa's gonna punish you. The seeds for him becoming a serial killer were actually planted early on. First, his grandpa told him that Santa was gonna punish him, and then he saw Santa kill his parents, and then he was abused by a nun. You kind of knew he was going to be a serial killer. It was very apparent. That's what the serial killer formula is. Neglect, abuse, bullying, all kinds of things like that. When he puts on the Santa suit, he becomes totally, completely psychotic. I mean, this guy literally thinks he's Santa, and he goes around saying, "Punish, punish." That's what he would say to his victims before he would kill them. Now, I remember him taking this one chick, I think her name was Denise. He took her and jammed her body on the antlers of a deer. He threw her boyfriend out of a window. He killed one lady with an axe. I mean, this guy was just doing his thing. You can clearly see that this movie was inspired by John Carpenter's Halloween, but I think John Carpenter did a better job than these people did, because at least John Carpenter had moments of relief, where this person who made this film had just all negativity. I can understand why they had it pulled from shelves or whatever it went through. I would have had it pulled off the shelf or from the theater or whatever, because it's an inappropriate film. And this is coming from me. This is the Michael Myers fanatic, and you know I love horror movies, but this was completely inappropriate. You have children out there, you can't show them a killer Santa. You can't do that. I don't care who gets mad, that's completely inappropriate. Now they're going to say, well, what about Michael Myers? I know you're coming with that. My answer to that is this. Halloween has been sinister for a long time. People expect Halloween to be sinister. But with Christmas, that's mostly for kids. So when they see Santa, they're already afraid of Santa. And by making this movie, now they just made it worse. Billy, aka the Santa Claus killer, kills everyone that's having sex or engaging in any kind of sin. He tells them that they're naughty and that they have to be punished, and then he kills them. Then he makes his way to an orphanage full of children, chops the body of a snowman, and goes in the orphanage with the kids, and he has a bloody axe. Are you kidding me? So, not only is Santa evil, but now he's killing snowmen. Normally, I would say I approve this message, but no, I don't. The Santa Claus got killed. The killer Santa Claus, he was shot by a police officer, so that was a good thing. And to make things even worse, now his brother is going to grow up to be a killer like he was. They have a sequel, but I didn't even bother watching it. Silent Night, Deadly Night. You can watch it if you want. By the way, I now have a Facebook fan page. If you want to go like it, you can. If not, that's okay. But I'll put it in the bottom of the description box for you to go and like it. I really didn't like this movie. I'm glad the review is over. A killer Santa Claus? I don't think so.